Well, good morning, Jagender Rana here. Somnath Swabhiman Parv. 1000 years of unbroken faith. Somnath Swabhiman Parv. 1000 years of unbroken faith. Somnath. Hearing this word instills a sense of pride in our hearts and minds. It is the eternal proclamation of India's soul. This majestic temple is situated on the western coast of India in Gujarat, at a place called Prabhas Patan. The Dwadasa Jyotirling Stottam mentions the 12 Jyotirling across India. So the Stottam begins with the Saurashtra Somnath Chai, symbolizing the civilization and spiritual importance of Somnath as the first Jyotirling. It is also said that Somalingam Naro Vishtva Sarpa Pet Paramachyate Labhyate Phalam Manovachitam Mirataha Swargam Samavachyate. It means just the sight of Somnath Shivling ensures that a person is freed of sins, achieves the righteous desires, and attains heaven after death. Tragically, this very Somnath, which drew the reverence and prayers of millions, was attacked by the foreign invaders whose agenda was demolition, not devotion. The year 2026 is significant for the Somnath temple. It has been 1000 years since the first attack on this great shrine. It was in January of 1026 that Mahmud of Ghazni attacked this temple, seeking to destroy a great symbol of faith and civilization through a violent and barbaric invasion. Yet, 1000 years later, the temple stands as glorious as ever because of numerous efforts to restore Somnath to its grandeur. Once its milestone completes 75 years in 2026, it was during a ceremony on May 11, 1951, in the presence of the then President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, that the restored temple opened its door to devotees. The first invasion of Somnath 1000 years ago in 1026, the cruelty that was unleashed upon the people of the town and the devastation that was inflicted upon the shrine have been documented in the great detail in various historic accounts. When you read them, the heart trembles. Each line carries the weight of grief, cruelty, and sorrow that refuses to fade with the time. Imagine the impact it had on Bharat and the morale of the people. After all, Somnath had great spiritual significance. It was also on the coast, giving strength to a society with great economic prowess, whose sea treasures and seafarers carried tales of its grandeur far and wide. Yes, I am proud to state unequivocally that the story of Somnath, 1000 years after the first attack, is not defined by destruction. It is defined by the unbreakable courage of crores of children of Bharat Mata. So the medieval barbarism that began 1000 years ago in 1026 went on to inspire others to repeatedly attack Somnath. It was the start of an attempt to enslave our people and culture. But each time the temple was attacked, we also had great men and women who stood up to defend it and even made the ultimate sacrifice. And every single time, generation after generation, the people of our great civilization picked themselves up, rebuilt and rejuvenated the temple. It is our privilege to have been nurtured by the same soil that has nurtured greats like Ahilyabai Holkar, who made a noble attempt to ensure devotees can pray at Somnath. In the 1890s, Swami Vivekananda visited Somnath and that experience moved him. He expressed his feelings during a lecture in Chennai in 1986 when he said some of these old temples of southern India and those like Somnath of Gujarat will teach you volumes of wisdom, will give you a keener insight into the history of the race than that than any amount of books. So marks how these temples bears the marks of 100 attacks and 100 regenerations, continually destroyed and continually sprang up out of the ruins, rejuvenated and strong as ever. That is the national mind. That is the national life. Current follow it and it leads to glory. Give it up and you die. Death will be the only result. Annihilation, the only effect the moment you step beyond that life current. So the sacred duty of rebuilding the Somnath temple after the independence came to the hands of the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. A visit during Diwali time in 1946 moved him so much that he announced that the temple will be rebuilt there. Finally, on May 11, 1951, a grand temple of Somnath opened. Its door to devotees by Dr. Rajendra Prasad was present there. The great Sardar Sahib was not alive to see this historic day, but the fulfillment of his dream stood tall before the nation. So the then Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was not too enthusiastic with this development. He did not want the Honorable President as well as ministers to associate with this special event. He said that this event created a bad impression of India. But Dr. Rajendra Prasad stood firm that the rest is history. No mention of Somnath is complete without recalling the efforts of K.M. Munshi, who supported Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel very effectively. His works on Somnath, including the book Somnatha, The Shrine Eternal, are extremely informative and educative. Indeed, as the title of the Munshiji's book conveys, we are a civilization that carries a sense of conviction about the eternity of spirit and of ideas. We firmly believe that which is eternal is indestructible, as outlined in the famous Gita verse Nainam Chindani Sastrani. There can be no better example of our civilization, indomitable spirit than Somnath, which stands glorious, overcoming all and struggles. So if the Somnath temple, which was attacked 1,000 years ago and faced continuous attacks of their own, could rise again and again, then we can surely restore our great nation to the glory it embodied 1,000 years ago before the invasions. So with the blessings of Shrine Somnath Mahadev, we move forward with a renewed resolve to build a Viksit Bharat where civilization's wisdoms guide us to work for the welfare of the whole world. Yes, Somnath. Thank you. Thank you.